So you finally got yourself a PlayStation 5. While it's been months or even years by the time you've seen this video, you're finally onto the next generation. I could recommend a ton of great games to play like Sackboy: Big Adventure, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village, and I'm sure you were wise enough to purchase a stack of great games to play with your new console. But wait, what if I told you not to play those quite yet? We'll get you there. What if I told you there's one game in particular you need to play as a sort of welcoming to your PlayStation 5 experience? And best of all, it was free. Since the launch of the PlayStation 4, Sony has released these specific free technical demos to help introduce consumers to the various functionalities of whatever it is they want to advertise. To help with this presentation, each experience includes cute little robots to interact and guide the player through each minigame available. The first was the Playroom, a game preloaded onto every PlayStation 4 console and required the PlayStation 4 camera and utilized the then new DualShock 4 controller. When the PlayStation VR came out, the Playroom VR was released for free on the PlayStation Store for those who wish to download it. After fan feedback of the popular minigame Robot Rescue featured in the Playroom VR, a full game was made around the concept into a paid PSVR title game called Astro Rescue Mission, and would introduce us to the robot known as Astro, a character that has since been getting his own spotlight. But the big issue with those past three games was that there was always something extra needed that only specific individuals would buy. Not everyone wants to dish out money for a PlayStation 4 camera or a PSVR headset if they really aren't going to use it much. But now there is a game for the PlayStation 5 that is free to download for everyone and can be played by anyone. Astros Playroom comes preloaded on every PlayStation 5 console, though I had to download it, and while technically a free tech demo, unlike the Playroom and the Playroom VR, the game isn't a minigame collection, nor does it feel like it's skipping out on content, and there is a lot to love about Astro's Playroom. It's all about taking the user directly into the fun and often cute ongoings of the PlayStation 5 console itself, and one of the best platformers I have played in the longest time, and it's rare to see an excellent AAA platformer in a sea of live service open world games that we're accustomed to today. The game is one giant love letter to the PlayStation brand, and there are plenty of surprises to find. It's also the perfect introduction to the new PlayStation 5 controller, the DualSense, one of the best controllers I have ever laid my hands on. Since the game was developed to showcase a DualSense controller, right from the start you're introduced to the features of the DualSense and you will learn all there is to it with a literal hands-on demo. From there, everything you do will be felt in the controller thanks to its haptic feedback. Actions like walking on various terrains like mud, sand, and metal will all feel different. It's like you can feel the world in your hands. Combine those different vibrations with the crystal clear sound coming out of the controller speaker, and it's a whole brand new experience. One that's far better and more improved than the DualShock 4. But it's not just the vibrations you'll have. Each world in Astro's Playroom provides certain sections to utilize multiple features of the DualSense. With the built-in microphone, you may have to blow into it. Other times you'll need to use the 6-axis motion sensor to guide Astro. These sections help to break up the game and don't necessarily feel frustrating or distract from the main game, and are typically fun, quick, and challenging sections to go through. If you start out with Astro's Playroom, chances are that every PlayStation 5 game you play that utilizes the DualSense features will be enjoyable, but they won't come close to this incredible experience. But the DualSense isn't just what makes Astro's Playroom the excellent platformer it is. The game is built to show what happens inside of your PlayStation 5. From the hub world, you can see everything is literally in a PlayStation 5 console. There are 4 worlds to choose from. Each represent a specific component the PS5 is capable of: the GPU Jungle, SSD Speedway, Memory Meadow, and Cooling Springs. And you can pick any of these worlds to play in any order you like, and even return back later to replay specific levels. And these worlds aren't too hectic to play through. They are highly detailed and aren't too big to get lost in. Unlike a lot of platformers these days, Astro's Playroom isn't trying to replicate platforming action nostalgia of the past. The controls feel grounded, and each world feels alive with movement, with a variety of obstacles to get past. Often, I found myself simply mesmerized by the amount of detail provided, and you could just stand still in each level and find yourself enchanted by the amount of life in each area. These bots are populated everywhere and are doing their own thing. They never once feel out of place. So much effort and care has been placed into each level, and even though you'll be doing a lot of jumping, punching, and pulling of objects, the levels make it all exciting and never repetitive. There are always different surprises to discover as you progress through the levels, and you really never know what's going to come up next. Once all 4 worlds are complete, a 5th world opens up, and if you've been with PlayStation from the beginning and have played the very first original PlayStation demo disc, you'll be faced with a Jurassic Blast from the past. Since I was too young for a PlayStation 1 at the time, I simply thought it was a throwback to the pixelated polygon characters of the past. Now, Astros Playroom couldn't be a proper platformer without the addition of collectibles. There are 3 types of collectibles to discover: puzzle pieces, coins, and artifacts. And none of these collectibles feel overwhelming or complicated to find. All levels offer some form of exploration, but it's highly enjoyable and not at all grindy. Coins are easily collected and can be used in PlayStation Labo, an area found in the hub where a gacha machine contains extra artifacts and puzzle pieces, all required to unlock all the goodies you are bound to love. Puzzle pieces unlock portions of a large painted mural in PlayStation Labo, honoring PlayStation from its launch to the PlayStation 5, and the most important of them all, artifacts, which we will get to in a bit. To simply have a platformer that doesn't look cheap, where the worlds are full of color and life, the graphics look fresh and not the carbon copy cartoonish matte finishes a lot of platformers have, is a true treat and makes me crave more modern platforming action like this. Platformers can survive these days, but they need to evolve from the past, and most importantly, they need to be fun. Astros Playroom also houses one of the greatest nostalgia bombs of the PlayStation brand. Whether you've been with PlayStation since the beginning or have recently joined, there's something for everyone to get excited about. Scattered throughout each level are Easter eggs in the form of objects and bots dressed up as iconic game characters, with over 60 to discover. Simply find the cameraman bot with the blue hat and camera, and from there you'll find whatever iconic character it is. Where else can I find some of my favorites like Lara Croft, Cat from Gravity Rush, Heavy Rain, and Resident Evil in one game? And if you were to smack these characters or have any other character you come across, you're greeted with a new reaction animation. From first-party PlayStation characters to memorable third-party characters of past and present, chances are there will be at least one character you know and love. The appearance of certain third-party characters just shows how far we've come to the point where publishers are willing to let their characters have appearances in games like these in comparison to the underrated and ill-fated PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale of years past, where it was such a struggle to get these characters everyone knows and loves. It's not just the characters that get the love, but also the various consoles and products PlayStation have released throughout its over 25 years in the business. As mentioned earlier, artifacts are another form of collectibles Astro can find, and each brought a smile to my face. I got into the PlayStation 2 towards the end of its main lifespan in 2007. In 2009, I purchased the PlayStation 3, and it was here where I really became more accustomed to gaming and fell in love. So, seeing these artifacts of PlayStation consoles, handhelds, controllers, things like the PSVR, PlayStation Move and its additional add-ons in such detail, and that you can kind of interact with each detailed model is incredible. I can't think of a better way to honor the PlayStation brand than with what Astros Playroom has done. All of this and more, of course, is located in PlayStation Labo. It's almost like one giant PlayStation museum. Every time you unlock more and more artifacts, they'll be added here. And once you beat the final boss and let the credits roll, you're then rewarded with artifacts from the most recent generation, the PlayStation 5. It's one giant build-up of introducing you to the next generation, by walking you through the best of PlayStation, and even after beating the game the same day as it launched back in November of 2020, I still like to go back and soak in all of the PlayStation nostalgia. Like I've said, Astro's Playroom is a free platformer that's extremely welcoming to everyone, and shows that with a focus on fun, AAA platformers can be excellent without the need to replicate what's come in the past. Its focus on smaller worlds to explore makes it more memorable and better to pick up and play than the open worlds we've come accustomed to. And despite the cute protagonist of Astro, it's a game anyone of any age will enjoy. From the youngest of children to older adults, it's a game for everyone to sit back and smile at. With Team Asobi having a spotlight under the PlayStation Studios brand and Astro's newfound popularity, Astro's future looks bright, and hopefully it isn't long for us to see another game with everyone's favorite robot. Have you played Astro's Playroom, or are you planning on doing so? Let me know down in the comments. Please like and subscribe for future content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.